The 2015 World Champion Shoma did a challenge where could he win 5 games in a row with Dedenne and bring it to every single game. Now, I'm not going to do that challenge, but I will be bringing Dedenne to every single game and seeing how well it can perform in today's video. This is a Dedenne team created by Shoma. This is a Choice Specs Calyrex hyper offensive team utilizing 3 choice items and tailwind support. We have the Choice Specs Calyrex Shadow Rider with the Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage, and Shadow Ball to get around the wide guard, expanding force without an Entity, but if you are facing anything with a psychic terrain, having an expanding force option still is really strong and can catch them by surprise. And then Trick to help out with some options if you need to get rid of that choice specs, or if you want to give someone that choice specs and lock them into move, for instance like a Calyrex Ice Rider being locked in the Trick Room, and be very potent. The Choice Bandit Hisuian Arcanine, we haven't seen too much, but Terra Normal is just really strong right now with all the ghost types around, specifically Calyrex Shadow Riders, especially in the Mirror and Lunala. Being able to have a normal type with that Terra Normal option and have the role of an Intimidate Mon, which is stronger probably on this hyper offensive Tailwind team than like an Incineroar, and being able to take advantage of really strong spread Rock Slides, really powerful Flare Blitzes, and Head Smash that can catch a lot of opponents by surprise with how powerful it is. That can pick up knockouts on Pokemon like Farigiraf, for instance, and Extreme Speed can help clean up. We have the Choice Scarf Urshifu, this one running Terra Ground to help out with Miraidon with the Terra Ground Terra Blast to catch them by surprise. The Covert Cloak Tornadus, Scary Face is an option which is really solid with the Covert Cloak. Ignores the Fake Out, you can go for yourself Scary Face if you need to, if you are in Trick Room, so you can lower your own speed so you can outspeed your opponent in Trick Room, or Scary Face as a secondary form of speed control against opposing Tailwind teams is always solid. The Amoonguss to help out against Trick Room teams with the Spore. The Redirection, of course, is really nice. And Pollen Puff to heal. Finally, the star of the show, we have the Terra Normal Dedenne with the pickup ability. It doesn't really have great abilities for what the set is with Focus Sash. It doesn't exactly have a berry, so Cheek Pouch is pretty much useless. And pickup actually does have an effect in battle ever since I believe it was Generation 6 or Generation 7, where it does have an effect in actual battle where if the user is not having a held item attached to it, it can find an item that was actually used in the battle that activates. For instance, like a citrus berry that's been procced, then it could find one with its pickup ability after it's already consumed its Focus Sash. So it does actually have a bit of usage. And then this is just being full support. We have Thunderbolt for the electric coverage. It's actually decently fast. It can outspeed Urshifu, so Thunderbolt for the coverage, and it can hit those water types pretty hard. The Nuzzle for speed control, which is really nice. The Super Fang to help whittle down opponents and make it so that Calyrex Shadow Rider can make it easier to sweep, and helping hand support that just makes strong spread moves like Rock Slide, Astral Barrage, and Bleak Wind even more powerful, and helping hand certainly strikes is absolutely insane. The Terra Normal for opposing Calyrex Shadow Riders, because that mirror can be a bit atrocious if you're going for the speed ties, so you can go for the Terra Normal and then you can go for the Nuzzle, so you can have that speed control that's more reliable. So it's a option that you don't have to go for a speed tie every time if you are facing a Calyrex mirror. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. All right, we have Lunala Mousehold with Urshifu, the Landorus Incarnates, Rillaboom, and Pelipper. Okay. I think I've seen this team online before. It's support Mousehold with the Lunala. Trying to figure out what I exactly want to go with this, because I like Ursh a lot here. I think Ursh can do a lot of work. I kind of like the idea of Ursh Dedenne. I think Ursh Dedenne is actually pretty strong overall. Yeah, I think Ursh Dedenne is pretty strong. I think Calyrex in the back is pretty good because I could lead Calyrex and force a Terra out of Lunala, but I think they're always going to want to preserve the Terra for Lunala because they're going to get swept otherwise by Astral Barrage. So I think that's pretty crucial. I think I have Arcanine to help out against the Rillaboom is pretty important. Let's try it out. Let us try this out and see. The thing is, the Lunala is pretty difficult to handle, but I don't think they're Trick Room, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna see the Lunala Pelipper lead. Okay. Which I'll gladly take. That's actually a really good spot for us. Because I can U-turn Thunderbolt the Pelipper slot. And I don't see a reason not to go for a U-turn Thunderbolt. Yeah, I'm going to U-turn Thunderbolt the Pelipper. Maybe I should have played aggressive and turned it down to Lunala. But I really don't want Pelipper getting an attack off here. Actually, no, I probably could have. I definitely should have Thunderbolted the Lunala looking back at it. U-turn is definitely the play, though, into one of these slots. I think always Pelipper because I want to break a Sash. But let's see. They don't have a good switch into this. U-turn Thunderbolt actually does some pretty good damage to anything that they have. And I don't think you want to waste your Terra on Pelipper. If you want to Terra on Pelipper, be my guest. I'll sweep you with Calyx in the endgame. Okay, they did actually attack with the Pelipper, which is beautiful. So I'm able to get a huge switch into the Arcanine. Getting Intimidate off, although it's not going to impact this part. I wonder if they Meteor Beam here. Goodbye, Pelipper. I know that this, if I'm not mistaken, this Lunala has 3 attacks. We have Moonblast. Dazzling Gleam. Okay, no, I'm completely off then. Or I knew they had a fairy move. I just wasn't sure which one. That actually works out. They go hard in a Landorus. Interesting. I'm okay with Landorus. Am I? No, I'm getting threatened by some pretty heavy damage. I think my play then is to always go for an extreme speed into the Lander slot. Ah, this is going to be difficult, isn't it? I get Terra Normal Helping Hand Extreme Speed KO, I suppose. I think that's my out of not getting KO'd this turn with Arcanine. It also means Meteor Beam won't be super effective. Maybe I can then survive one. We're gonna see a Terra come out from my opponent, actually. From the Lunala, which makes... I don't know why you go for it this turn. Maybe you're scared that I have a Dark move on one of my Pokemon, but that works. All right, Lunala gonna go for the Terra Fairy. We'll go for Helping Hand Extreme Speed. And hopefully KO the Landorus so it doesn't get an attack off. I'm actually surprised that they Terra'd the Lunala. They must be thinking of some dark move or something because I could have broken the Shadow Shield, which would have been really important. But we'll take it. So here goes the Extreme Speed into the Landorus. Picks up the Knockout, which is great. Okay, awesome. Don't have to worry about like a Sandsear or Earth Power or something. A Dazzling Gleam gonna come out. I guess they're just trying to pick up the knock on Dedenne. Okay. I'm going into... What do I think is in the back? I feel like they gotta have Mousehold, right? Would you really have like no Astral Barrage switches? I think so. I think I go Ursh. No, it's their own Ursh. Is it Scarf? That's a good question. I've always Extreme Speed the Ursh slot. Does it have Protect too? Because that could also be a factor. Actually, if it's Scarf, then Surging Strikes will KO my Cali, which is my problem. I think I always want Extreme Speed the Ursh and Close Combat the Ursh. That's gonna be forfeit. What? I think you have an out there. I do think you had an out. Well, I guess it depends on the sets. I don't know what the Lunala... I mean, I think they didn't have Trick Room or Wide Guard, so I was fine there. If they were Scarf Ursh, they could have went for a potential Speed Tie or something because I was Scarfish myself. Were they not Scarfish? Maybe they were just worried that Callie swept them in the back, assuming I broke the Shao Shield, which Twist Specs does do a lot, but I already used my Terra. I don't know. I think the game was probably playable, but I guess it just depends on the set, because I actually don't know the full sets on the team, but I have seen it online quite a bit. Calyx, Ice Rider, Cresselia, Rillaboom, Annihilate, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Fluttermane. All right, this is gonna be something. They have, I don't know, this is probably Trick Room. I can't tell if this is gonna be Scarf Annihilate or not, which is a big one. I think my best play is to lead the don't like Calyx Ice Rider. I kind of don't. I think my best play is just to lead the Dedenne plus the Calyx. I think it's super strong in this in general. A Helping Hand, Astral Barrage looks so demonic for their team. I have Amoonguss in the back, and I think Ursh is the last. Because as much as I kind of want Arcanine to help out against a Rillaboom, Amoonguss is kind of a okay enough answer to Rillaboom, assuming I still have Calyx at least around. The Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to probably be a big threat, because I don't exactly have anything that blows it up other than the Ursh, which is going to be pretty important here. I don't know what the Fluttermane's role on this team is. That's the one thing that's throwing me off. I don't know what set the Fluttermane is. If it's like Focus Sash, that can be very tough for my team. If it's like booster energy with speed, that's also difficult, but we'll find out. My plan in turn one is hopefully just a Helping Hand Terra Astral Barrage, which would do so much damage to their team. I just don't know if that's going to be the case, because it looks pretty difficult to actually accomplish that. But if we are able to, amazing. We are going to see the Annihilate plus the Calyx Ice Rider. Okay, perfect. So Annihilate can only knock out Calyx when I am basically in this form of non-Terra. But if I do Terra with Ghost, I'll increase my damage output and get KO. So I'm just going to go for Helping Hand plus the Astral Barrage. This should be either Shadow Claw or they're going to U-turn into the Blood Moon Ursaluna. If they go Blood Moon Ursaluna, we'll play some mind games, I suppose, the following turn, and if they protect. I feel like that this might be a Shadow Claw, or they could Final Gambit Raid, I guess, into Calyx, but I have no idea if that would be the case. But I do think I just nuke the Calyx Ice Rider if they stay in. And don't protect. We're gonna see the Ursaluna hard swap actually, so curious about the Annihilate in general. Is that Annihilate a Scarf variant or not? I think that's a good question, because I know some of them run safety goggles on this team with Final Gambit for some reason. But Terra Ghost, they do Terra, so they are taking the offensive initiative. I want to say that Helping Hand, Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage KOs, but who knows? I could absolutely be wrong here. All right. So let's see if I'm right. I could have also tricked the Calyx. If I tricked the Calyx, might have been better, but I don't know. It could have been. Absolutely could have been. But you know what? Let's just go for the big damage here. How much does this do to Calyx Ice Rider? A lot of damage, but not a KO. They did just Glacial Lance though, so I was kind of correct on that assumption. All right. I'll take that. So I can go out into Amoonguss safely and Thunderbolt the Calyx. I can also Super Fang the Ursaluna if I want to, but I am going to go for a hard swap into Amoonguss and Thunderbolt because it is the safest play, because if they Glacial Lance, I do lose. I feel like that they should probably protect the Calyx or swap out, but they might think, oh, Calyx is expendable. And a Super Fang, it's nice, but it's not necessary for me to win the game. It could actually be very greedy to Super Fang the Blood Moon Ursaluna, especially with the risk of missing. I'd rather just Thunderbolt the Calyx for safety. So we'll bring out Amoonguss, which should be able to sponge up at least one hit. Thunderbolt. Yep, they did sack the Calyx. Okay, perfect. So we are able to eliminate the Calyx. That means their Terra's gone. They don't have that option. Expanding Force would do a lot of damage too. He went for Earth Power. They didn't go for Hyper Voice. Also, it's not Life Orb on the Ursaluna, so I wonder if it's Throat Spray. Okay. I don't have to worry about the Ursaluna ever going for Terra, although, yeah, they won't have to Terra normal Hyper Voice. Are they going out into Annihilate? Because if they Scarf Annihilate, you go for the Outspeed and Dedenne. I guess if they have Rila in the back, this is still very difficult. I think Calyx should be able to live one Grassy Glide. We're gonna see Flutter come out. The slow Flutter looks like. You know, the Citrus Berry. Okay. I want... this is difficult. I would have probably liked the free switch, but I think the play is to go for a Nuzzle into the Flutter Mane, because if they're Trick Room on the Flutter Mane, although I don't expect it, I think they should just take the KO on Dedenne. I'm just going to protect Amoonguss and go for a Nuzzle. Let's see if this works, because this should be like Dazzling Gleam Blood Moon. Oh, Vacuum Wave. Doesn't even KO the Dedenne. Oh, it's Taunt on the Flutter Mane. Okay. Vacuum Wave on the Blood Moon. So it's Assault Vest? I guess it has to be Assault Vest, right? Okay, this is going to be a really weird endgame, I suppose, then. I was not expecting that direction. So I'm going to go for a Super Fang, I suppose, into the Ursaluna. I want to go for Pollen Puff. Or do I want a Spore? Because I feel like that this should just be... You know what? I'll Spore to Ursaluna. Because if I do get an attack of Amoonguss, it better be Spore. I mean, they're finally going to go for the KO on Dedenne plus a... Oh, no, they did Taunt again. Okay. They Earth Power the Amoonguss. I guess they don't want to give me a free swap. They are taking a lot of damage, though. I am able to get my Citrus Berry back. Huh. It's really going to come down to the Annihilate, I think. Let's see. Ursaluna is in range of Surging Strikes no matter what. I'm trying to figure out how do I always make this a safe play. There really isn't that much of a change here. I guess I'll just Super Fang the Ursaluna and I'll go for Pollen Puff. I don't know why they keep going for Earth Power. I guess they just really don't want to give me the double swap for a free Calyx plus partner. They do actually reveal the Dazzling Gleam. Okay. Which I'll take. Hyper Voice into the Amoonguss. I guess they are finally going to get the Throat Spray, which I imagine is the last item. It's not Throat. Oh, wait, no. It was probably Assault Vest. We saw the Vacuum Wave from earlier, right? All right, we get to go Ursh, and we get to go out into our Calyx. I'm pretty sure as long as the Annihilate is in Choice Scarf Rage Fist, I do win, I'm pretty sure, because I have a pin here of Astral Barrage Surging Strikes. I guess if the Flutter Mane protects, then it's weird. But even then, it depends on if the Flutter Mane... I think actually instead of the Super Fang and Ursaluna, I should have Thunderbolted the Flutter Mane now that I think about it, because the Surging Strikes end game actually could have been impactful here. But yeah, I just go for Astral Barrage Surging. 100%. I should have went for damage in the Flutter Mane to put in Surging Strikes range, because if the Flutter Mane has Protect, it goes for a now, and then it comes down to whether the either Ursh KOs the Flutter Mane or if Annihilate is Choice Scarf. because Shadow Claw will KO me at the range I'm at with the Calyrex. So it really just depends here. They're gonna forfeit. Okay, I think the Fluttermane probably didn't have Protect then. If the Fluttermane had Protect, or the Annihilate wasn't Scarf. If the Annihilate was not Scarf, they had no chance. Because then the Astral Barrage just sweeps the Ghost types, while Ursh just always pins the Ursaluna with Surging Strikes. Or Astral Barrage was pinning the Ghost switching, so we'll take it, I guess. I'm surprised about how it kind of worked out. I'm glad that they didn't go for Trick Room, although I guess if they went for Trick Room, it was still playable. It would have been a lot tougher. But because they didn't get Trick Room up, I was able to get the KO on Calyrex Ice Rider with Dedenne. I was able to nuzzle the Fluttermane, which was actually huge, because if it's Focus Sash on the Fluttermane, that's actually really big. I was actually able to build up some pretty good damage, ensure the knockout into the Ursaluna. Ogerpon, Heartflame, Terapagos, Iron Hands, Amoonguss, Fluttermane, and Urshifu. So we have the team that won Japan Nationals. I don't know if this is exact rental because I don't remember if this is the same order, but all right. So I do want Ursh. Ursh just probably wants to be brought. Amoonguss can be really good. There is the Tom Fluttermane and the Ogerpon I do have to worry about, but otherwise I do have pretty good answers. I don't know if I want to Spore though the Terapagos, if I just want to go for Nuzzle. Because Nuzzle affects their entire team. The only things I have to really worry about are the Fluttermane. This Fluttermane's actually kind of a threat here. Especially with Meteor Beam Terapagos, that means they can... My Fairy Resists are not great. They don't have Shadow Ball though, so I don't have to worry about that. I think it is just like Cali. Because they were Moonblast, Icy Wind, Taunt, Trick Room, unless they change the team. You know what? I'm gonna leave Calyrex, Dedenne. I think have the Arcanine in the back. I think bring Ursh. I don't think Torn's bad, but Torn only really helps out against the Fluttermane, and if I don't think I need that many resources to handle Fluttermane. I as long as I get a Nuzzle into Fluttermane, or I get the KO onto it, because it can't threaten me offensively other than Icy Wind. We're gonna see the lead of Fluttermane Terapagos. Okay, so I do lead the Dedenne plus the Calyrex. Icy Wind's gonna come out. Fluttermane doesn't have Protect on this team. I hope they didn't change the team and make it Shadow Ball. They could have, but I don't really think I have much room to like figure that out. I don't know if Dedenne is going down here, but I am gonna click a... I want to click Astro, or do I want to click Helping Hand Expanding? Because like the thing... No, I click Helping Hand Expanding always. Actually, no, because they can't Terra the Fluttermane. Because if they Terra the Fluttermane, the Nemesis Terapagos can't Terra ever. So it's actually always better to go for the Astral Barrage. What am I doing with you, though? I guess I'm just going to click Nuzzle into the Terapagos. Because gotta prevent the Rock Polish. They go for Taunt to Dedenne. Wow. I was not expecting Taunt there. That works out huge for me. No Icy Wind is amazing, because I am able to get the KO onto the Fluttermane with the Choice Specs Astral. And I get the Nuzzle, which breaks the Terra Shell on the Terapagos. I could have went for Super Fang. Super Fang would have been really good too. But, I mean, if this Terapagos goes for Rock Polish, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'd rather just get the Nuzzle off, because I need this to be always slower than my Scarf Ursh. Okay, that's a really good turn. Especially if they get paralyzed. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's kind of the downsides to the Terapagos teams. If you... Because defensive Terras can be really important positions, but they aren't able to. But yeah, I can go for Astral Barrage. What am I doing with you? I think Astral Barrage is safe. Do I want to divide my attacks here? Because I can Super Fang pretty safely. I like the idea because I could Thunderbolt the Ursh as well, double up, or I could Super Fang. I kind of like the idea of Super Fang because Ursh might protect. It is Focus Sash, I know that, but we will bring it down to Focus Sash guaranteed here. We are going to see a Terra come out from the Terapagos. Okay, so they're going for the immediate Terra. Perfect. They need to double up a slot to pick up a knockout because Surgeon Strikes is not going to kill Callie. They do detect with the Ursh. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So I am able to get a huge Super Fang off in the Terapagos, and like they didn't get a Meteor Beam off because of the paralysis, or I don't know what they did actually. I'm pretty sure it was probably Meteor Beam, but they went for Rock Polish. The position was kind of the same, so they didn't change much. Actually, they go for the Meteor Beam now, which I'm a bit surprised about. Okay. So they go for Meteor Beam. They're targeting down the Dedenne, or are they targeting down Calyx? Because I don't think this is putting me in Aqua Jet range. Yeah, they do target Dedenne. And now you're just going to be threatened by close combat in the end game. So I am fine with this. And that is an item that I get to show how pickup works in battle. Astral Barrage. We're clicking Astral Barrage plus a... kind of want to just Thunderbolt the Ursh. Yeah. Aqua Jet. Yep. Into Dedenne. That's fine. Dedenne did his job. I don't think I actually get put in range here of the... let's see. I guess we'll find out. I mean, this could still be a scary position because I could be going down pretty early. Astral Barrage into the Focus Sash Ursh. They do Terra Starstorm. How much damage does this do? That is Aqua Jet range. I could go into Arcanine. Actually, I should go Arcanine. Yeah, I go Arcanine. I go Arcanine. I could have went into Ursh and just dressed into close combat, but I think it's acceptable here. This puts on so much pressure because the Aqua Jet no longer KOs Calyrex. I go for Astral Barrage and I just go for the Terra normal, and I think I Flare Blitz the Terapagos because they don't have a switch in for Flare Blitz, and nothing really switches in on these attacks, right? Like Astral Barrage, I don't know if you have anything that survives because it's +1 choice specs. Astral Barrage just does so much damage. Also, thankfully, we did get the paralysis on Terapagos earlier because now we guarantee outspeed to Terapagos. We actually didn't, I think, if we were paralyzed. I don't remember the speed stat though on the Terapagos. They're just gonna protect, which is fine. We go for Aqua Jet attempt. Yeah, it just does not knock out Callie, which is the perfect part. Astral Barrage is gonna come out. Gonna pick up the knockout into the Ursh. Actually, I guess this could be scary depending on the last mon. What's the last mon? Is it Iron Hands? Because Iron Hands might be able to live one attack. I was worried about actually, now that I think about it, Aqua Jet and Arc was never my big priority. I should have never terrored my Arcanine here. It is Iron Hands. Okay. Oh, huh. Might not have been my smartest play. Yeah, I think I always have to Astral here regardless. The question is, what am I doing with you? Is there a clicking Fake Out plus the Starstorm? Ursh does not live that double up. I think I have to hope for one of the paralysis on the Terapagos, unfortunately. You Fake Out my Arc. Yeah, that's actually kind of silly. I was worried about Aqua Jet KOing the Hisuian Arcanine, but with Intimidate, it just doesn't. I think I should just risk him getting a crit there in the end game. We flinch. We go for Terra Starstorm. That's going to pick up the knock on both. Yeah, it was just really silly actually to Terra to Arc. I was just like, oh, just always avoid Aqua Jet KOing the Arcanine slot. Yeah, that was just silly. I do think Arcanine was the correct bring out, but definitely was not the correct end game. But yeah, now I realize that. We go out into our Ursh. We gotta hope for a full pair on the Terapagos because Wall Charge will KO Ursh. Surging Strikes will not knock out the Terapagos at that range. I do have to close combat the hands. Because if I close combat the Terapagos, Wall Charge is 100% KOing. So my only out here is a Paralysis. Well, let's see. They do get the Terra Starstorm. Yeah, I think it was just making a mistake of going for the Terra because that Terra allowed them to get that pin with the Terapagos with Fake Out plus Astral Barrage, and I didn't realize it until after the fact that they could protect the Terapagos and go for that position. Ended up changing it, so definitely a winnable game. That was definitely just a throw on my part. If I just attacked, I'm pretty sure I would have been okay because Terra Starstorm and the Fake Out would not have knocked out the Arcanine the following turn, like without me Terraing. And I would have been able to then just go for a close combat plus Flare Blitz endgame, assuming they didn't crit. And yeah, now that I think about it, if they Aqua Jet my Arc, I still threatened with Flare Blitz in regardless, so I think it would have been alright. If they Aqua Jetted though, my Arc, position would have actually still been would have been difficult because they tried to Aqua Jet the Cali, didn't work. Gastrodon, Incineroar, Urshifu, Whimsicott, Calyx Shadow Rider, and Okidogi. All right. So Calyx Shadow Rider going to be strong. Gastrodon's really strong against me, unironically. I can't blow them up with Calyx on the very least, but I got to be careful. This is most likely just a Torn plus Calyx angle. They're Terra normal Calyx. I guess this is where it's gonna get rough. I don't know if they're offensive on this team or not. That's also another good question. There's a lot of ifs. I think Amoonguss probably isn't worth it in this matchup. I don't really need the Spores. They have a lot of offensive pressure. I think Torn's always brought. I think Calyx is always brought. I'm gonna bring Dedenne for the challenge. I'm gonna bring Torn, bring the Calyx, Dedenne. Last Pokemon, I don't know if it's Arcanine or if it's Ursh. I could also see myself not leading the... I could also see myself going for the Terra with Arcanine for the Terra normal, so I can always pressure the Calyx that way. Because it's safer, technically. It only works if I lead it. You know... I'm gonna try it, I suppose. I don't think you lead Okidogi into a Calyx team. I think it's really likely, and Torn pressures as well, so I'm not like too concerned if the Okidogi leads. I'm just clicking Tailwind and I'm clicking Choice Band Flare Blitz. I'm pretty sure that's like what I'm gonna do. Incineroar, Dark Ursh. Okay, I'm really glad I didn't lead my Calyrex against this. Now, I don't know how... I guess Hisuian Arcanine doesn't fare too bad here. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. I want to switch into Dedenne on a attack, though. I am going to just click Bleak Wind. There's no reason for me not to click Bleak Wind. The question is, what am I doing with you? I am bulky. I guess I could break the Sash. I would also really like damage on the Incineroar if I can. I think I'm just going to click Rock Slide, Bleak Wind. They're going to go for Fake Out. They target down to Arcanine. All right. I am able to land a Bleak Wind, which is beautiful, into the Ursh. I do a little bit less damage than I would have liked, actually. Speed Drop's actually pretty nice on the Ursh. We do flinch with our Arcanine. We're going to see Wicked Blow come out into the Arcanine. That is a Choice Banded. That's Choice Banded easily. Okay. Do I want to go Dedenne here? Or do I want to go Calyx? Because I haven't gotten damage in Incineroar yet. These are the two dark types, so I feel like my best play is just to get damage on Incineroar and then hope for an Astral Barrage sweep in the end game. I'm gonna click Bleak Wind. Yeah, I'm just clicking Bleak Wind and I'm clicking. I want to click Thunderbolt or do I want to click Super Fang? I could click Helping Hand too, but I don't think it's worth it. I could click Nuzzle as well. I think I want to click Thunderbolt. Bleak Wind just did nothing. I wonder if it's Assault Vest Incineroar. I think I'd rather risk Super Fang actually. Also, like if they switch, it's probably better for me to hit Super Fang into Bleak Wind. They're probably switching out the Ursh. Oh, they didn't switch out the Ursh. Okay, please land. Nice. All right, Incineroar is really low. They probably are in range of my Calyrex. I think we'll see what comes out from the following turns. Gonna be the U-turn coming out. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be Assault Vest. Okay, so on the Incineroar, and I'm guessing the Ursh was just kind of a bulky Ursh. It was slower than my Torn initially, but I think it, based on the damage, I'm pretty sure we're fine. We're gonna see the Whims come in, and this should be Calyrex. Yep. All right. So Dedenne, you have a mission, my friend. You have a mission. I think it comes down to A, what this Whimsicott set is, and B, like what else is gonna happen. It could be Covert Cloak on the Calyrex, but I don't think it would be on this team. I'm really glad they didn't save the Ursh. I'm gonna click Tailwind. I'm clicking Nuzzle into the Calyrex slot. Oh, I forgot to Terra Normal. No! No! Wait. Don't tell me it's Tricker and Whims. Oh, that's so silly. Oh, they crit my Torn too. It was Trick Room. Okay. I have out. I have an out. Don't count me out yet. It's unlikely, but I do have an out. Ironically, it didn't even matter technically with the Terra Normal. I mean, I would have had Dedenne alive, but like the crit's actually kind of annoying because my out is a lot harder because of the crit. But I have to go for does Calyrex get paralyzed here? I forgot they had Terra. This better not be Terra Normal Cali. Okay, that's whatever. I can't believe. I mean, I was supposed to Terra Normal. Okay, so I thought we were gonna trade Tailwinds. I thought I was gonna get a Nuzzle off into the Cali because I went for the Terra Normal and the Dedenne, and then I could sweep Helping Hand Astral. That was so dumb though that I forgot the Terra Normal there. Granted, having the Terra Ghost is actually kind of important here for the damage. But no, like, yeah, they didn't get paralyzed. My only out would have been to paralyze. Ah, dang it. I mean, then the correct play would have been to double up. I guess then the play would have been to actually, now that I think about it, I think the best play looking back would have been to double up the Whimsicott with Bleak Wind plus Terra Normal Thunderbolt. Because if Whimsicott goes down to the Bleak Wind plus Thunderbolt, Trick Room doesn't go up. If they Tailwind, I can still Tailwind my Torn and then Nuzzle the Calyrex the following turn. Yeah, actually, now that I look at it, my play was suboptimal. I think Nuzzle wasn't needed that turn because the Calyrex can't Astral Barrage me. Although they did have Terra Ground, Terra Blast, which was a weird one. But I think I did make a mistake that game. I do think that doubling up the Whims was just better in that case, looking back. All right, let's go over to games. And game 1 was able to get a great knockout onto the Pelipper turn 1 and then sniped the Landers with the helping hand extreme speed, which put them in a bad spot in the end game, but I still think it was winnable from their end depending on their sets. In game 2, early damage was great, but the mid game was a bit sloppy. Getting a bit of chip on Ursaluna was nice, but I should have targeted the Fluttermane instead of the second Super Fang onto the Ursaluna to put in range of Surging Strikes in case the endgame came down to a Scarf Annihilate knocking out my Calyrex and Urshifu having to target the Fluttermane scenario if they would have gotten a Moonblast KO if I didn't KO their Fluttermane, and that would just lost me the game on the spot. In game 3, the only big mistake was going for the Terra with Arcanine. Although they did go for the Aqua Gen to Arcanine instead of the Alex Shadow Rider, I would have lost regardless. I think going Urshifu first instead of the Arcanine and then swapping my Calyrex into Arcanine and clicking Close Combat with the Urshifu into the Terapagos might have given me better odds and a safe play against a variety of options, though the endgame could have still been tricky regardless. In game 4, not clicking the Terra option on Dedenne was really bad, but it didn't matter against the Trick Room from the Whimsicott anyway. Terra Normal with Dedenne into a double up into Whimsicott and knocking it out might have given me a good chance to win, as it would have been their Calyx Shadow Rider as well as their Incineroar locked in, and then I could have went for any forms of speed control if they did go for Tailwind and ensured it with the Nuzzle, the option to protect, and then go for Tailwind. So I did have options there, which I think would have just given me a better spot, because the only way I probably did lose was the Trick Room from the Whimsicott, which was not great. So my Calyrex could have sweeped afterward and cleaned up the weakened Incineroar as well as the Calyx Shadow Rider. Otherwise, it was really just about does the Calyx Shadow Rider get paralyzed on their side, and they were able to hit through. Dedenne, would I use this Pokemon on the series team? Probably not. And I don't think I'm going to do the challenge anytime soon of trying to win 5 games in a row with Dedenne. But overall, it was not a bad mon. It does provide some really good roles that we've seen from Pokemon like Pachirisu and Togedemaru in the past, which is not available in this generation. But, you know, a fast Pokemon with access to Nuzzle, Super Fang, Helping Hand, like all of those support moves are really good. Thunderbolt, that's faster than an Urshifu. If it's not Choice Scarf, it's still very solid. So not a bad option, but it's not the strongest Pokemon out there, but a lot of fun. If you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description. Hopefully the team is still available by the time this video is released. But of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.